Hey, this is Mark coming to you from Baker's Green Acres. I got some stuff to update you on real quick. I just got back yesterday from Virginia. I went down to a Farm to Consumer Legal Defense Fund fundraiser that was held at Polyface Farm, which is a farm operation that's owned by the Salatin family, Joel Salatin. He's a pretty famous farmer and has become a kind of a role model for a lot of us guys farming out here in the perimeter. He's become a friend of mine too. So it was a good fundraiser. There was about 600 people in attendance, and I can tell you the message, the overall message was, it's time to get busy and be urgent about what's going on, because what's going on with Baker's Green Acres is similar to other things that are going on in different parts of the country, where family farms are being persecuted by bureaucrats. Farm to Consumer Legal Defense Fund has been there for us, and they are working with us now, which is very good, because I've told you that this is a battle of dollars. The state takes money from us, and then they try to put us out of business with our own money. And for us to defend ourselves, we have to hire attorneys, and attorneys cost. I mean, that's all there is to it. The legal system is such that you have to have an attorney to go into it. I know a lot of you people think you don't, but I can't read most of this. It doesn't make sense. And so I definitely need an attorney to help me out. We've got a great attorney, a couple of them actually, but one that we really focus on, and then there are other expenses along the way. So this has costed a lot of money, but it's important that it is won. Okay, Farm to Consumer Legal Defense Fund. I need people to contact them. You just go on their website and join. What Farm to Consumer Legal Defense Fund does is they maintain lawyers on staff. They have 3 of them, I guess, and they're really up to speed on food issues. And then they conduct fundraisers to raise dollars to put that in a war chest when there's a problem like we're going through here, that they can come into town, see what's going on, and then provide the funds necessary to win. And they've brought to this a lot of help for us. And I have to recommend them, because without them, we would be pooched. We would definitely be pooched. The state has all the time they need. They have all the employees that they need. And like in our case, they've even got a guy that's hired to do what I do and tell you what's actually happening. And they hire a guy that will lie, and he does lie. He tells things that are not true about what this is all about. Okay? So, that's that. Get on there, join Farm to Consumer Legal Defense Fund. Check out Polyface Farm while you're at it and see what they do down there. Pretty interesting story of how they've evolved into a successful farming operation. Okay, then on my way home, yesterday I received this. This is Judge Fagerman's opinion. And what the opinion is we had a list of things that we wanted. Relief from the declaratory ruling. There's a bunch of things that we wanted. And the judge thought that, some of these things we just didn't need. And I can appreciate that. And what he did is he narrowed this down to an argument that is pretty easy to understand. He agrees that feral swine is a problem, and I agree that feral swine is a problem. I don't agree that they have them in Michigan, but I agree that if they did exist like space aliens, I think that would be a problem, unless they were nice. But the feral swine I hear about, they're not nice, the ones down in wherever, Florida. But he points out in here that what this really comes down to is, there's a paragraph in his opinion that says, this subsection does not and is not intended to affect Sus domestica involved in domestic hog production. So the question really is, are our pigs Sus domestica, and are we a domestic hog production facility? So that's what it comes down to, and so I think that we can pretty much prove, per what the dictionary says about domestic hog production, that we're domestic hog producers. If we're not raising domestic hogs, then I suppose that we would be raising wild hogs, but we've never said we're raising wild hogs, and we don't have any wild hogs. A wild hog would be like a wild deer, and the only place that you can find wild animals, wild swine, wild pigs, is in Eurasia, and we're in North America, so we don't have any wild pigs here. So anyway, the judges narrowed it down, and I'm glad. We really want to get to court, and we have said that from the get-go. We feel we have a good case. I've explained it to the public, and the public feels we have a good case. I can't find anybody that really believes the state, the DNR, and Bill Schuette's office, our Attorney General, feel as though that they're tracking, that they're running on all cylinders here, except twisted people that work for him and can't say anything else. But here's what Bill Schuette wanted to do, and I think this is important that you know this. Bill Schuette's office went to the state, to Judge Fagerman, and wanted Judge Fagerman to rule that I don't deserve a day in court, that I shouldn't get a trial, and that I should have to pay a $700,000 fine without any third party coming in and saying these are, prohibited animals or whatever, or even questioning whether the DNR's foolish declaratory ruling is valid or not. Bill Schuette, our Attorney General, that's what he wanted for me, a citizen of this state. And so you really need to look at that. I mean, this is a guy that wants to be your next governor. And I know he's not going to like this. It's too bad. It's the reality of what Bill Schuette wanted to do, just so he could give the people who would benefit from the declaratory ruling what they want. And the people that would benefit from the declaratory ruling are pork producers, number one, well, because they knock out all the competition, us family farms, they knock us out. And then the list goes on. I mean, it was the Ag Leaders of Michigan, it was Greenstone Farm Credit Services, it was Michigan Corn, Michigan Potato, Michigan Milk Producers, and what do they care about feral swine that don't exist? What they really care about is access to family farms by bureaucrats like the DNR, with foolishness like the declaratory ruling to confuse and be able to use fear and intimidation to put family farmers out of business, right? And that was what they were on their way to do. Okay, we've held them. I think we've held them. We're getting to court, but we still need help, all right? Schuette's office has pushed this back until our planning meeting is October 31st of 13. That's a ways out. That's a ways out. And then we don't know what the judge's schedule is going to look like, whether we can get in right away. It's supposed to be a 3 or 4 day trial. So we don't know. It's pushed back. And we need help. But this is where it's going. It's coming to a head. And they really don't want us to get into a court of law with this, because the argument is such that they're not going to do very well. That's why they've tried everything they could to keep us out of court. But now Judge Fagerman says, yeah, we're going to court. So thanks, Judge Fagerman. Thanks a lot. He states in here that he believes that we are a domestic hog production. So the judge that's going to be deciding this case has already said that we are a domestic hog production. So my wife's going to post the link to this, and I would appreciate if people would go through it and see if there's anything here that I haven't caught. I have a very good lawyer, and so that's good. One of the things that came out of our fundraiser, the way people feel about this, people are angry, all right, angry that unelected bureaucrats are basically making laws. I mean, they're not laws, but they're policies, declaratory rulings, stuff like this, and then they use their enforcement, their law enforcement arm to intimidate people into doing what they want. People are upset about that. People are real upset about that. And the feeling out there now is, we're going to win this. We're going to win this. But are we going to let it lie there? My feeling has always been, no. My feeling has been, we're coming for you, and you know who you are, and we are coming for you. And now there's a lot of other people out there that feel the same way. And how do we do that? We have the leadership in place that is willing and has shown that they are willing to stay with this as long as it takes. And you know that that's how I feel about it. But we need the dollars. There's no doubt about it. We need the dollars to make this happen. So if this is the final push, let's do this as good as we can. I'm a family farm. I was probably the wrong guy that they picked to fool with on this because of my past life experiences. But there's a lot of family farms out there that don't have what it takes to go up against the full force of the state government. They just don't. And we did, but we represent many, many, many other people. So this is the point of the spear. I need you behind me. I need the dollars. I really do. I need the dollars to make this happen. So again, I'm coming to you, but this is what it's going to take to win this. This is what it's going to take. And we are willing to go as far as we need to, but we definitely need the help. But I feel as though we're on the right path. I think this is a major victory. The Attorney General's office just didn't want to even let us go to court. And they fined us $700,000. That would have meant the end of our farming operation. If we're out of business, we have no money to hire lawyers. That means they get what they want. And what they would have gotten is access to every farm, anytime they want to inspect for invasive species. That's their goal, all right? We know it. And, you big farmers out there, I think you're under the illusion that this doesn't affect you, but you are so wrong. They went to the smallest people first because they wanted to set precedents. You bigger farmers, you ought to think this through, and you ought to get behind me on this, because if they get me, they're coming for you, right? And that's the reality of this. That's how these people work. Farm to consumer is kind of like a cocked shotgun above the door, right? When these sleazebag government bureaucrats, people that are not even elected, they're just sleazeballs, right? When they get in the hen house and they start doing damage, you want to have a shotgun that's loaded and ready to go out for that fox. And that's what farm to consumer is. We load them up, they stay abreast of the situation across the United States of what's going on with farm freedom, food freedom, things like that. And then when there's a violation by these bureaucrats, we can get in there and get them. And make no mistake, this is hardball. This is hardball. These guys, Kelly Drake, Danielle Allison, Dwight Yoakam, Harold, they have no problem with putting me and my family out on the street. They don't have a problem with that. And they say, I'm just doing my job, I work for Bill Schuette, and Bill Schuette wants you out on the street. I'm just doing my job. All right. Well, I got a job to do here too, and that's to protect my family and keep them under a roof and keep them fed. That's my job, and I'll do whatever it takes to make that happen. And it appears now that I have the full force of the people behind me, and you may have the full force of the government behind you, and you've been coming after me. It's turning on you. So here we come. All right, that's it from Baker's Green Acres. I need this out there. I need your help. Thank you.